Hey YouTube, Lucky Nerfer back in with a new Nerf video. This time it's going to be about a blaster that's somewhere in between homemade and a mod. And that is Homemade Internals Nightfinder. Now this was invented and created by Diamondback. His was a little bit different in appearance, but mine still pretty much functions the same. Mine uses a K26 spring, 5.5 inches, so half, and it gets 3.5 inches of draw, which is still a pretty good amount. His had a K25, so it got more draw, but wasn't as powerful. But this is pretty powerful too. Seal, almost perfect. This is actually an old snap plunger tube that was glued in a long time ago, so it's not as good. You can hear a lead coming up here, but it's still pretty good looking. Pretty slow in there. Anyways, it uses 3/8 nylon rod, and this is a 6/32 bolt with a bunch of nuts on that. I find that more comfortable than a Nightfinder handle, because it's like a snap kind of. You can get 2 fingers on it. Well, here, my example Nightfinder, once you get bigger springs in it, you can only really put 1 finger in there, or go here, but that's not as comfortable, I don't think. But, anyways, now, size comparison. This isn't really much bigger than a regular one that isn't minimized. You can see it's less than 2 inches here, but it does have a significant more amount of weight, just because this giant piece of PVC there. But also for size comparison, while we're on that, it's still smaller than a Tech Target. Tech Target is bigger, and this is close to stock look. Now anyways, on to ranges. It shoots about 90 to 100 feet, which is very good for the amount of draw it's getting. This is no longer a pistol. That's pretty evident once you put this barrel on. A foot long barrel with all that draw. And yes, it does slant down. Not really sure why, but also I could have got a little bit more draw on it, but I did cut the catch notch, not perfect, but it's very solid. It's held into the shell with 4 set screws, which are drilled into some epoxy putty. And obviously you have to do some major shell work to this. I did most of it with the scroll saw, but as you can see, there's barely anything stopping it. And the whole spring that would keep the trigger in place is gone. I had to do some big cutting on the trigger, and I had to do some light sanding on the catch, so it would not catch as much of the rod. I kept this part in place. The light isn't there, and the wire isn't there, but the stuff in the handle is still there. That's just a little bit for looks, so it's not as big of a hole in the front. But green ammo holders, that's just what I had there, and I thought it would look a little unique. And again, this isn't pistol, so you could probably use an RCB on this. I haven't tested it with an RCB, but it would probably shoot somewhere around 70 to 80, which is still pretty good for the people who like using the Nightfinder. And it's still recognizable as a Nightfinder, one of the most common guns around. Anyways, pretty cool. Now one other thing I just want to show you guys what I got when I went to Kmart the other day, which, you know, was in the other town for me. I got some paint. Got yellow Krylon, blue Krylon, and black Krylon for plastics. Now the reason I got all this paint was, combined, this all cost $3.50. All the Krylon was on sale. This was $1.50, and these were both $1. These were really only the best colors they had, though. I would have grabbed more if they did, but they had like weird colors like peach and like some greens and browns. But I'll be painting some snaps probably with this, just because these are pretty recognizable as not real, and that'll just be good for them. But that's all I have to say now. Besides, also, there's a war coming up. October 29th in St. Paul, I believe. Yeah, I'll put a link below to Nerf Haven. Please come. I'll try to be coming. Still not positive on that, but anyways, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Bye.